Hey everybody, it's your VR Viral Raccoon here. Guess who gets to start their vlog over again? Me. I have had it with this kid of mine. Had a really good vlog going and he started his crap. So, here I am again, trying again. I wanted to share with you, since we're all talking about our comic books and our favorite comic book characters, how I got interested in comic books. When I was a kid, my family owned a camp that was on a lake. Some Amish people bought a huge area of property, and it had a very small lake called Hickory Lake, and they started selling off pieces of property. Well, my grandfather bought a piece of the property, and it had access to the beach, to the lake. And when they built the camp, the Amish people helped build it, which it was a really huge, big, cool camp. And it was very simple and very rustic. And Grandpa, I don't know how he got a hold of them, but a whole big stacks of Archie comics, Betty and Veronica, Scrooge McDuck, Richie Rich, all these old comic books. And me and my cousins would get together and we would take them outside or get them before bedtime, and we'd each take a character and do the voice. So we would read them together. That was so much fun. And these things, we read them till they were falling apart. A lot of them didn't have covers anymore, and they were ripped and worn out. That was a lot of fun. So that was my first exposure to comic books in general. Well, how I got introduced to the Marvel comic books was this. My sister Christy, when she was in college, dated this guy named Andy. And I will forever love Andy for this reason. When we went to his house for the first time, well, when she brought me to his house for the first time, he lived in Webster, New York, and we went for a weekend. And even though she promised me that they weren't gonna do any sexing while I was there, guess what they did? They did the old horizontal mambo, the wild monkey dance, the old between the sheets. And I was a 16-year-old, and I was like, oh, I need to go to my happy place. I need to go to my happy place. So there was me, 3 ferrets, and my headphones, and Metallica and Motley Crue trying to save me. Oh my lord. And I found out that he had comic books in this big old trunk. And his favorite characters were, at the time, I don't know if he still reads comic books. I hope he does. But at the time, he loved Daredevil and Ghost Rider. Well, in this trunk he had, and it was a full foot locker of comic books. And it was mostly X-Men. And I'm talking old X-Men. So I put them in order, chronological order, from number 1. Yes, I had my hands on number 1. All the way up till I don't even know what number. And I read those suckers that whole weekend until I finished them. And I don't know how many of them there were, but they kept me from having to listen to that grunting, guttural, screaming, whatever was going on in that room. Oh my God. So, Marvel saved me from an early 16-year-old grave and some haunting visions. So that's I don't know if it would have been a trunk full of DC. Maybe I would have been a DC girl. I don't know. But the Marvel characters caught me right away. Cyclops and Jean Grey's romance. Oh, Storm was the strong female character. Um, Beast and all his problems, and he's an absolute genius. Professor X. I, Magneto, I just loved the stories, and I loved the characters, and I loved anything that kept me away from that bedroom. So there was me, and you know what? All I could find on TV was frickin' Star Trek. I'm not anti Star Trek, but I'm not a huge Star Trek fan. I'm a Star Wars girl. So it's like Marvel, yes. Star Trek, oh God. So it was on in the background, headphones on, reading Marvel comics, and having these three ferrets running around. And one's name was Devlin, and he would bite my toes. Yeah. I ate a lot of Hot Pockets that weekend. So that's how I started in comic books, and then it's been comic books and Marvel ever since. They are, to me, part of the air that I breathe every day. Um, some people think that's an unhealthy thing, but I think I could be doing a lot worse things with my time. I could be doing some really destructive things, you know. Um, and some people have some really unhealthy habits. I don't smoke. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't do drugs except for my medications. And I don't beat my spouse. I don't beat my children. My children are fed and taken care of. They're clothed. I have a home. I take good care of my pets, you know. So it's like, don't you fucking judge me. Give me my Marvel fix now. Oh, so if anybody wants to share how they got into comic books, I'd love to hear it. Um, I just, it's, and then manga, I got into manga late. I picked up Death Note because I heard it was something that would be right up my alley, and I won't ruin the storyline for anybody that may be interested in it and has not read it or picked it up. If you decide to watch the anime, watch the anime. Don't watch the Netflix movie. I refuse to watch that. It got really, really bad reviews, and I think it was done by Americans, and it's Japanese. So don't mess with Japanese stuff, Americans. It's just wrong. However, the Tokyo Ghoul movie was done by Japanese, has Japanese actors, and oh my God, it's so good. So good. Paul surprised me and bought it for me a couple weeks back or last month or something. Oh my God, so good. I recommend that. And they do have the anime for that and Death Note on, I think they're still on Netflix. So I prefer to read the manga first and then watch the anime. I'm newer to anime than I am the manga now, but I read so damn slow when it comes to that because I will pick up a comic book first. I like to savor the manga. I like Death Note. I like Tokyo Ghoul. I love Bleach. I'm just starting to read Full Metal Alchemist. And I do like Black Butler. That one's really, really neat. That one's getting interesting. And then Paul's reading Seraph at the End or Of the End. And I posted about that last night. We just started watching that. I don't read that one. He's got it on digital. I think I already said that in my last vlog, so I won't say it again. But that that anime is good. I like it. People think that that stuff is for kids because they're kind of cute looking little things. They're not for kids. Do your homework before you let your kids watch this stuff. Gonna have Chinese food tonight. Paul's surprising us with, well, it's not a surprise now, but I do like Chinese food. I know this is fast food, so I'm not sure. I've honestly always wondered how exactly authentic this is, because it's takeout. But I do like the vegetable lo mein, and I love those crab meat rangoon things. And I like wonton soup, and that's about it. But if I go to some place like P.F. Chang's, it's a little bit higher quality food. But when I start to travel, when Cameron gets a little older, I want to try real food, like real Chinese food. Go to China and try the food. And say, wow, that crap I eat at home is nothing. So I just wanted to share how I got into reading comic books, and if anybody else wants to share, feel free. If you have any questions, drop them by down below in the comment section. If we're connected, you can throw me a question, and I may be back later. I don't know. Alrighty. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.